You're with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
7 minutes after 9 o'clock. Dumelang, happy Friday. Welcome to the Clement Manyathela Show. It's wonderful to have you with us here on 702 on this beautiful day, the 24th day of October. Payday for some of you. Spend that money responsibly. Every Friday, we do Gratitude Friday. This is where you can call us or send us a WhatsApp voice note to tell us what you are grateful for this week. What has happened this week that put a smile on your face? We want to celebrate with you. We do this feature because we want to inculcate this culture of gratitude for the big and the small things. So you can call me right now on 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. What do you make of Bheki Cele's testimony at the parliamentary inquiry yesterday? The more I hear from these top cops and these politicians, the more I realize what we're in. I don't know what other word to use, but we are in serious trouble as a country. And I think I'm realizing more and more that the rot is much deeper than we think. And I wonder if it's even possible for us to truly have an overhaul of the system. Like, it's so entrenched that I don't think it's possible that we are going to get to a point where we do not have cops that are in cahoots with criminals at the highest level. And sometimes we see criminals who get arrested, who get reported about, and we think that's it. There are more people who are much senior in the criminal underworld than them. We've got politicians who get bankrolled by criminals. They pay for their houses, they pay for their accommodation, they pay for their campaigns to be president. And in return, they've got to give something because there's no free lunch. And yesterday, listening to Bheki Cele, how he was so nonchalant about staying at an apartment of someone who is involved in such levels of criminality as alleged by the police. I mean, not just the Tembisa hospital, but the attempted murder on his own partner. There's no way that Bheki Cele meets with someone that he then knows after the December meeting that there are credibility questions around this person, and he doesn't know that this person could be linked to other multiple murders. And he still said, I'll stay at the apartment. Why? Because it's free and I'm no longer in government. And we're supposed to accept that explanation? Wow.
So did it not raise some discomfort and some concerns that you are really offered this hospitality by a stranger?
No, I took it. I took it. I'm not in government. So if I'm in Pretoria, I pay my money. There is a hotel that I spent. Years I'm in Pretoria and I'm not paying. And I took it. And if I were in government, I would have gone and declared. But I declare to nobody now.
I declared to nobody now. Then there's nothing to worry about. I stayed at this guy's apartment, so what? This is Ket Matlala. The SIU has found that this man was involved in the looting of about 2 billion rand. Already when Bheki Cele is staying at his house, he already knows about what's been reported about him. In fact, Bheki Cele says when he met him for the first time in December, he was meeting with Mabonga, right? The businessman who was killed here in Sandton. And Julius Malema even told Bheki Cele yesterday that, do you know that that man was a known criminal in Gauteng? And Bheki Cele says, yeah, I know. And yeah, his justification is that, as a police minister or former police minister, you meet with different people because they give you information, and sometimes that information is credible. Sure. But to what extent then do you take that relationship with them? I mean, to the point where you even stay at their luxury apartments, the same man that got a tender of about 300 million rand when you were minister. I mean, are we children here? Is this the nonsense that we have to accept? Like, they think we're children. There's someone who gets a tender of about 300 million rand when you are minister. And then when you stop being minister, this person gives you luxury apartments to stay at. And you are, of course, you're going to argue that I'm not involved in issues of procurement. Every politician argues that. And yet in the past, there's always been a link. There's always been a link between the certain decisions that are taken by their departments that they oversee and the benefits that they receive from the people who do business with government. We've seen it from some ANC politicians over the last 30 years. But we have to accept it because, I'm no longer in government, so that's fine. I don't buy that. Bheki Cele is a very influential person, even within the SAPS. That's why yesterday he said, I still get calls from people who want me to sort out certain issues. Like, this guy gets called even from criminals who know that he's no longer minister to give him information. Why? Because he is influential. That's why even Clement Manyathela met him in December to tell him that, hey, they want me to incriminate Dumisani Khumalo, the head of crime intelligence. Shadrach Sibiya wrote even an affidavit for me because they are fighting. That's what Bheki Cele says Clement Manyathela said to him. Because he is an influential person. That's why he confirmed yesterday that sometimes he calls General Mkhwanazi to give him certain information that he receives. And yet he doesn't think that influence matters when he's left office. Yeah. General Mkhwanazi yesterday, by the way, also sent an apology to Parliament. And the members of Parliament are not having it. They think that he has to come officially and retract the statement that is made about Bheki Cele. Remember, he claimed that Bheki Cele had sent an account number, I think, if I'm not mistaken, to Clement Manyathela. Clement Manyathela then responded with, I think, proof of payment. So basically what General Mkhwanazi was saying is there's an exchange here. The allegation was that there's an exchange of money between Bheki Cele and Clement Manyathela. Now, Bheki Cele refuses that that's not true. And he even said, I don't even send text messages to anyone. Now, General Mkhwanazi then sent a message to the evidence leader and apologized for the allegation he made. And he said they made a mistake. They confused one bank account to be that of Cele, and that was a mistake. And he apologized to Bheki Cele. And I wonder if you think that's it. Is that enough? Because some members of Parliament, Julius Malema, even Glenis Breitenberg, came out to say, no, you must come here in Parliament because you made the allegation to the whole world. Isn't that what we were warning from the beginning? Be very careful. As much as it's great for us to hear the revelations, and they must come, please, because that's helping us understand the extent of the rot. But be careful not to think anybody then gets mentioned and then we run around and we think that, oh, this person is part of the criminal cartel, or somehow because they texted somebody and then it must mean that they are also criminals. That's what we've been warning about from the beginning. So, is it enough for General Mkhwanazi to just send an apology? Oh, oops, sorry, we made a mistake. Or must he come to Parliament, as members of Parliament have suggested and requested, for him to officially make that retraction? Let me know your thoughts on 011-883-0702.
Clement Manyathela, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Clement, I'm grateful. You see, when they say there is a God, I believe that there is a God. My sister, my younger sister got married about 8-9 years ago. And she has been struggling to get pregnant. She had 2 miscarriages, and the doctor told her that you will never be able to bear a child. You are barren. Your womb, I don't know what the reasons are, but she was considered barren. This week, on Tuesday, my younger sister gave birth to her first baby boy. The doctor is still shocked. It's funny because the doctor recently just got born again, and is like, he said to me, there is a God. And I would say there is surely a God, and my sister is a living proof that there's a God out there.
In the team, for me, I just appreciate the fact that he is honest and guilty at the same time, because we all know that anything that a criminal gives you, it's not for free. So in some way, you're going to pay it. Whether it doesn't matter what he explained, but he came there and then he told the truth, his truth. And for that, because Mkhwanazi came there and lied, basically. He was just lying, over-explaining himself. Sometimes it didn't even make sense. So he's telling the truth, his truth, the way he knows it. And we all know that in this lifetime, nothing is for free. If I let you sleep in my penthouse, you're going to pay for it somehow. And he knows it too. So as a country, we need to come to a point where it's our time to make a decision if we're going to stand for the criminality that is happening.
Good morning, Clement. Good morning. Man, I'm so grateful. I really want to say thank you to Fleet Africa. It's a company that gave me a contract like 7 years ago. Man, I'm telling you, from 7 years ago until today, I'm able to pay my people on time every month. So I'm so grateful for that, man. I wish them nothing but the best. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Fleet Africa.
Morning, 702. We can say what we want to say about Bheki Cele. We might have names for him like incompetent, a loser, inadequate. But one thing we cannot call him is a liar. And like I said, he's been called many names, stupid, incompetent, but he's not a liar. That guy is not lying. He's not lying. He's just he's answering questions, unlike what we've seen from other people there who want to first tell us about their life story and still not answer the question. So I think let's give him his flowers with all the mistakes he has. Just also another thing, I don't know what's happening, Clement, here in Pretoria East, we have a big problem. When there's power cuts, not load shedding, these people can take 4 or 5 days to just come and fix electricity. I mean, we haven't had electricity for 3 days here in Pretoria East, in Olympus, Ferry Glen. It's ridiculous. Can maybe your team just find out what's going on? Because we don't even get updates. Our food is basically rotting in the fridges.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
On 702.
AK, you're calling us from Tembisa. Good morning.
Yep, Clement, how are you?
Hey, Tsara.
I'm on you today.
You're on what?
I'm on you. I'm not worried about Mkhwanazi. It's on you.
Why are you on me, bro?
We always fight and separate. Never mind. One thing we agreed upon was this woman was going to resign from the PA. I said, you remember, let's leave that one. About this one. When Mkhwanazi came, you and your crew, you were one of the people who were very critical. Mkhwanazi has not followed the procedure, Mkhwanazi whatever. And then afterwards, the next step, no, he must give us evidence. And when people came and supported Mkhwanazi and gave evidence, in court of what was saying, then you sort of, I could feel that the arms against him was softening a little bit. Now Mkhwanazi has said this thing about Bheki Cele is accepted. You have gone back to your roots or to your cocked gun, whatever. Yes, this is what we're saying all along. You must be careful about what. Clement, let the process continue, and Mkhwanazi so far has been 99% correct so far. So let's not throw now doubt on his evidence, and that by the sideline, I appreciated what Cele did yesterday. Thank you very much.
Okay, AK, thank you for your call. AK is in Tembisa. So I've made a decision that I'm not going to entertain like things like that, right? If you call on this station, on my show, at least come with facts. So don't call and say, oh, your crew. What is my crew? What is my crew? That's you and your crew. I don't appreciate that language because me and who? Media fraternity? I'm not the media fraternity. So talk to me about what I do on this show. And you're saying that we said, give us evidence. Who said that? Like, there are certain media houses that have written opinion pieces about that. Where did I feature there? So, yeah, it doesn't help me to respond to things like that. I think it's a waste of time. Call me with your thoughts. If you want to challenge something I've said, please tell me directly what I've said. None of this is anything close to me. Let me repeat what I said earlier. I'm asking you if you think it's enough what General Mkhwanazi has done, because there are members of parliament that are saying it's not enough. He sent a message and said, yo, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. The members of parliament are saying, please come back and retract it officially because you told the whole world. And here's what I have said before. This doesn't mean that General Mkhwanazi's revelations, most of them have not been proven. We've seen evidence of text messages. We've taken you to the Nhlanhla Commission where detectives are giving us more information, more evidence. We've seen that. But from the beginning, I've said, we need to be also careful. This is not even me. Even Julius Malema said it. They said we need to be careful that anybody who testifies at the Nhlanhla or parliamentary inquiry, and then they mention Diane Collar Barnard, Bheki Cele received money, and then we are quick to think that, they are corrupt. We must still allow for an opportunity for evidence to be presented in that regard. Otherwise, everybody's going to be mentioned, and then everybody is they're going to go after. Now they mentioned Julius Malema at the Nhlanhla Commission, that he's close to Shadrach Sibia. What does that mean now? Does that mean Julius is corrupt? No. So when you are sitting in front of the whole world with TV cameras, if you're going to make an allegation so serious, like, be sure about it. And sure, if you make a mistake, I think it's commendable for General Mkhwanazi to come back and also say, apologize. And I agree with the members of parliament that he must actually come to parliament and say, officially, I'm retracting that. But it is commendable that he sent a message. If there was other people would have probably just left it out and didn't do anything about it. Now there's Godfrey Lidwaba, the judge president, Gauteng judge president, who now says he wants to appear at the commission because there were claims that he might have received money, and he says, I've never received any money. He must go prove that. I don't know how he'll prove it, but those who made the allegations as well, I'm not sure how they're going to prove it, but they said they heard hearsay that Katie Molefe may have paid, I think, over R1 million or so to the judge president. So all these allegations that are coming up, let's be careful not to quickly think just because Julius Malema gets mentioned, then, he must be guilty. Yeah? Just because something gets mentioned, that means that person is corrupt as well. We must always try and follow the evidence. And that's why I've taken you to the Nhlanhla Commission this entire week, because actually that's where the detectives are giving us the real evidence. I mean, do you have that WhatsApp voice note? In fact, we'll come back to it after the break. You listen to that. They're bringing us evidence of the connection between these top cops and the criminals. They're giving you the voice messages. They're giving you the WhatsApp messages. All of it. And then you can tell that there's something wrong here. So, your thoughts on what Parliament wants. Do you think it's sufficient? Does Mkhwanazi even need to come to Parliament? Or is it enough that he has sent a message to the evidence leader and said, I apologize, we made a mistake. Bheki Cele is not involved in any money exchanges between Ket Matlala and himself. It's 26 after 9.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
9:30. Let's take one WhatsApp voice note and then go to the headlines.
Morning, Clement and the listeners. Former Minister of Police Bheki Cele, he's telling the truth, but he's dumbing down everything. Everything he's saying, it's serious. but he's got a way of dumbing it down. Like, so I slept at his place. So what? I was not gonna pay for a fancy hotel when there's a place to sleep. So everything he says is dumbing it down. Like, yeah, I will influence this case.
Yeah.
This way. But yeah, it's normal. Everyone does that. Yeah, he dumps down everything. Thank you.
And we must now give him flowers for that? Guys, I think we're so used to accepting ridiculous things in this country. Like someone comes just because, Bheki Cele is speaking the truth. Yes, it's the truth and it's very dangerous. It's very concerning. It's very concerning. Do you know what Ket Matala is accused of, guys? Do you know who he's linked to? And our former police minister has stayed at his apartment. And he sees nothing wrong with it because, it's free. I can take it. I even stayed there twice, proudly so. And we must be impressed with that and say, give him flowers. I mean, that other listener said we must give him flowers. They're still going to show us flames, these politicians, because we want to give them flowers for rubbish. It's 9:31.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
It's 9:33. Let's go back to your calls and WhatsApps on the 702 open line. Tsepo, you're in Pretoria. What are your thoughts? Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. Yes, to answer your question, is General Mkhwanazi, it was correct for Member of Parliament to call him back to Parliament and come and answer the allegation against
Bheki
Cele. I'm saying that is correct. That is the position that the parliament members of parliament have taken. I mean, you cannot just throw allegation and you just issue a statement to retract the allegation. He ought to go back there because this way he made the allegation. But Clement, what I wanted to say is that it's dangerous, already taking a side on this current investigation that is taking place against the police. Now, once you make such allegation, it's becoming difficult because we have already concluded that a particular grouping is guilty and they must go and prove themselves. So I'm saying be objective in assessing the evidence as it's being presented. So the concern that I'm having is that the South African public, we appear to be taking side in certain issues, and when the truth comes out that is not in favor of us, then we react differently. I think that is dangerous, and then I think he ought to go back and clarify the matter between himself. Yes,
because he also said it under oath, in Parliament. So you can't just send a text or call. You must come and retract it under oath. Yeah, Tsapo in Pretoria. Thanks for your thoughts. Sebastian, what are your thoughts? Hi.
Hi, Clement. Yes, everybody was jumping up and down Mkhwanazi for a president. People, we must give this commission chance to actually go through. Because Mkhwanazi is not innocent people. He's been implicated not implicated in this, but things have been coming out about
What is he implicated in, Sebastian?
No, not implicated. There was this private investigator that said something about Mkhwanazi that happened in 2011 or something like that.
Yeah. Can he bring it to Parliament, please? Or open a case so it's investigated?
Wait, Clement, listen to me. I'm not saying he's guilty. What I'm trying to get a point here is that the other people that he's mentioned the name of Bheki Cele, right? You cannot mention somebody's name and then say he's received brown envelopes and then retract with a message. I think he must go back to Parliament and there he must take, because he swore under oath that what he was giving the commission was the truth. So I don't want, people must not think Mkhwanazi is not guilty. He was sitting in that chair. He knew things. Why only now did he decide to come out in 2025? Why did he not come out in 2015? Why did he not come out? So he knew that things were wrong in the police. So he is not innocent. And I think that is what South Africans must get in their heads.
Yeah, and the question is, what is he guilty of, Sebastian? I mean, Bheki Cele yesterday was asked, what's your relationship with Mkhwanazi? And Bheki Cele said, I don't think he is guilty in terms of criminality. And Bheki Cele said, I don't think he's a perfect person. I think he's got his own faults, and they're big faults, but those faults are not of criminality. And trust me, if anybody had evidence of Mkhwanazi being corrupt or working with maybe drug cartels in Durban or whatever the case is, that information would probably be out by now, because there is an open war currently, as we speak, in the SAP, in the criminal justice system as a whole. There's an open war. Intelligence services, spies are being used to influence. Even, that's why you see on social media how people even react. Huh? There are spies that are doing their work. They're intelligence officers. So if really there was something so concrete against Mkhwanazi, do you not think that Shadrach Sibiya and all this other faction in the criminal justice system or in the SAPS wouldn't have found something on him? And maybe because some of them are still coming to testify, maybe it'll come, but I'm really not convinced. I think that they don't have anything concrete. But let's wait and see. So be careful also, Sebastian, of people who now post stuff about Mkhwanazi just because they're trying to discredit him, but they're not bringing actual evidence, or they're not going to the police for the matter to be investigated, because then they're trying to tarnish his image. I don't even agree with that. The same way I don't agree with Mkhwanazi himself just mentioning people's names when there is no concrete evidence yet. And when he's retracting that and he's made a mistake, he must come back to Parliament under oath and say, I apologize and I retract that because we made a mistake. Kustas, you calling from Midrand. Hi.
Hey, Clement, great conversation, by the way. Great insight from your side as well.
Hey, but Nancy IDEC, when I Clement, that IDEC must be disbanded. Now, let's remind people who is IDEC. IDEC is this, call it a smallanyana build-up of scorpions out of NPA. Now, that unit is famous for chasing Khumalo over an HR matter, when in fact they should be fighting bigger crimes. Yay, Bheki Cele yesterday when I Clement releases the files.
Yeah.
Padayachi and Khumalo don't get along. So,
explain to the listeners who Padayachi is. So that's a former crime intelligence officer, right?
Yes.
Who doesn't get along with Khumalo, who is now an investigator at IDEC investigating Khumalo.
Yebo. He has no experience in being a detective. Let's start there. But here's a big one. This one I was disappointed. The head of IDEC, people might remember, the excellent Andrea Johnson. Now, this Bheki Cele said, Andrea Johnson's husband is in fact at crime intelligence.
And doesn't get along with Khumalo.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that HR matter that is being investigated by IDEC is a wishy-washy case. Now, they appealed that magistrate. Now, there is some debt that probably they have on that magistrate. That's why they want him in that case. What did the magistrate do? The magistrate overstepped his mark or his limits of his work. He told these guys must not come into any office in the country. Now, that's the judiciary side. Now, it's becoming clear when I claim good way. This IDEC, we thought it was going to be the next version of Scorpion. Even before it started, it has already been corrupted. I would like to leave you there.
So are you suggesting, Kustas, that the bedroom affairs of the head of IDEC have an influence on this open fight that we are seeing? So are you suggesting that the head of IDEC doesn't have agency to take decisions on her own and she's being influenced by her husband who is fighting with Khumalo at crime intelligence?
Clement, you can never separate the wife and the husband, particularly who have got one common enemy. If the husband can't win at crime intelligence, I'll use my wife to restore an NPA. So when they're sleeping in bed having a nice good time, they look at Khumalo, they dream about Khumalo and say, let's attack him.
Yeah. Well, Kustas, I don't know. I'm not completely convinced. I'm trying to wait and see the evidence that suggests that there is that. But to your point, where I agree with you, Kustas, is something is questionable here. There's a web here that doesn't make sense. In fact, here's the clip of Bheki Cele telling parliamentarians yesterday that the head of IDEC, which is investigating Khumalo, who is the head of crime intelligence, the head of IDEC's husband works for crime intelligence and doesn't get along with Khumalo. And somehow his wife happens to be the head of IDEC that is investigating Khumalo and had him arrested.
That guy, 3 guys were arrested. I think one is Cele and can't remember Pullman. So they were made sacrificial land by Moodley.
So Moodley was also involved?
Hayi kancane, not small time, big time.
Yo.
Moodley.
Was, sorry I'm interrupting, I just want to get clarity. So Moodley, was Khan involved in any way?
No, I wouldn't tell if Khan was, I don't have that information.
Okay.
But Moodley, yes. And then, was it Patayash or Peruman, this guy? He has been in crime intelligence. He has now moved to IDEC and is regarded as a top investigator. There are no investigators in CI. Since when has become a top investigator? That he has, his first job is to arrest Khumalo after he has written a letter by Nkabinde. Because Khumalo was arrested after the letter has been written by Nkabinde. So where it has come from? But the other thing, the husband of the head of the IDEC works in the CI. And they're not friends with Khumalo. And they're not friends with Khumalo. And he works in the CI. That's my home girl. That is the head of.
Yeah. But you see, we also need to be careful because people are going to implicate each other in things because this is their own survival. There are top cops in the SAPS who are trying to survive and keep their jobs. There are politicians who are also going through this because this is for their political survival. So I take it with a pinch of salt. It's possible that it may be true, and I hope they can prove whether it's true or not. But just know that we are dealing here with an open war where people are coming to the Nhlanhla Commission, to the parliamentary inquiry, to fight each other and throw allegations at each other. What will matter to us at the end of the day is what is the evidence that they are presenting to that regard.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
It's 11 minutes before 10 o'clock.
Hi, Clement. This is Dorshel. I am very much grateful today for the gift of life, right? For being healthy and the fact that I have a job, I can take care of a family and so on. But I also want to give thanks because, 2 days ago I was robbed, right? My car was jammed and then my work bag was taken. All my documents were taken. My work laptop, my phone, I'm a permanent resident in South Africa. My passport, my permanent residency, my green ID book, everything, the originals of these documents were taken. And I believe that the Lord is going to make a way for me. So I'm very much grateful. And I wish you guys a great show. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Hi, 702 listeners. A happy Friday. I am very grateful that I am living by the principle that it takes a community to raise a child. Testimony to that, I've been getting assistance day in from strangers helping me raise my daughter in one way or the other, from the transport, from another parent at my daughter's school. Also, I'm grateful that in the 7 years I've been a mother, yesterday I managed to do some shopping just for myself, just particularly for those clothing items I've not bought and worn in years, and for the amount I spend on it, on myself. I am happy and proud of that because motherhood also steals from us. We are more to the kids and stingy to ourselves. Thank you.
Hey, Clement, these people are using our platforms and political stages to fight personal fights. We're getting tired of this. Because how is it that Bheki Cele suddenly comes and supports Mkhwanazi in such lengthy ways and exposes and attacks Mkhunu like this? Then Chigi, there is a retraction of no. I think let's not allow them to believe that we are dumb enough to believe this nonsense. I feel they're using the public space to fight their personal fights.
Yeah, look, I mean, guys, did you hear Bheki Cele from the beginning when he arrived at the inquiry? He was going after Senzo Mkhunu. And he made a claim which contradicts what Senzo Mkhunu said. He said, Ket Matlala told him, this is Bheki Cele, says Ket Matlala told him that Ket, Brown Bokhotsi, and Senzo Mkhunu met and they discussed funding the presidential ambitions of Senzo Mkhunu. And if you know, in ANC circles, Senzo Mkhunu is trying to be president of the ANC, and hopefully to him, then of the country. So he went after Senzo Mkhunu. Like, that was, you could tell, this is just so personal. And he was like, and yes, he's right in some of the things. You could argue that where he disagrees with Senzo Mkhunu in as far as how he handled the disbandment of this political killing stars team. But you could just tell that these people are fighting each other. It's an open war, and we are witnessing it. And it would be naive of us to think that this is just what it is. There are people that are fighting for even political survival, and they will use these commissions to do exactly that.
Your voice,
your station,
your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
4 minutes before 10.
Good morning, Clement and the team. Very much appreciate your show. This is Jen from Guatemala Springs. Hey, shocked about Mkhwanazi's retrieval of statement. But what I remember very well is he said the money, or the account number, that was sent to Ket Matlala by Cele via a text message was not directly Bheki Cele's banking details. They belong to a third party. And I remember him saying he's not sure whether that money was subsequently redirected to Bheki Cele. So he was very sure of what he said at the time he said it. I want to know now, why is he apologizing? Was he perhaps threatened? It doesn't make sense.
Imagine, Clement. Imagine Mkhwanazi, it was Mkhwanazi, the person, the main person. He turn and say, I'm sorry, I've done a mistake. Imagine the person that we have capture the mind, the heart of the South African as far as the corruption is concerned. Today is the same person, the one that we've been hallelujah saying Mkhwanazi is the best among the others. He say today, I'm sorry, I've done a mistake. This is nothing, clearly we go nowhere. This is a movie. It's a bold and a beautiful days of our life. We are going nowhere. We must forget. South African, we must forget. These people are taking us for the ride. They are taking for the ride. They don't care about us as long as if their family are fed, as long as the stomach it's full up, they don't care. As long as they are driving cars, nice cars and all those things in a huge mansion and all those things. We are going nowhere. Let's forget. Let's forget we are going nowhere. These people are not going to bear any positive fruit in front of us. Thank you, Clement, once more. Moses Mudisani, Zakaria Park.
Morning, Clement. Clement, one of these inquiries that are happening right now, that Mkhwanazi started, yes, he thought he was doing a good thing or he was helping his friend or whatever. the unintended consequences are going to be very beneficial to this country, because these people are burying themselves already. So yeah, let's just wait and see. But we cannot give people flowers for coming out and telling the truth now, because now they are covering their own behinds. No. It does not work that way. You should have told the truth and done the right thing back then, not now only. So there are unintended consequences that they are all going to suffer, and it's going to be very, very good to watch. South Africa is a movie. Get your popcorn and watch.